Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hey, let's talk about what we learned about marriage through love, or what we learned about love through marriage. Whether or not we learned it the right way or the wrong way, or had a vision of it prior to. Let's talk.
Let's talk about love and marriage, the way that God intended. Life experience, here we share it. The No Fruit Podcast. Tune in from any platform. No Fruit Podcast. We'll help your spirit transform.
What's going on, y'all? We're going to talk about love today, and how much I did not know about what love really was before marriage.
You know now?
I think I have a better idea. And here is the reality. As we stated in another episode, that before we had gotten married, we were still learning about ourselves during the dating process. And in all honesty, because I didn't know myself as well I probably could have, I didn't always love myself as well, as much as I could have. And so what I learned about love before getting married was, idea was, hey, love is all you need, when you get married or whatever else. But how would I know what love really is before I got married if I didn't know what love was for myself? What was that image? Because like you stated in other episodes about your vision of what marriage was being the Cosby Show, what was love? Did they really show love to one another? Was it just, what was that underlining, situation? Because I know for myself, I didn't always see it in my family life.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? I saw a lot of arguing and bickering. Very rare did I see true support for one another. Okay. I didn't see, because, and here's what I mean by true. What my vision of true was. Because when you think about it, are you assassinating my character behind my back? So I had some family members that would smile in your face but kill you behind the scenes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that all the time because everybody has an opinion, right? And there are some people whose opinion are very, very loud and verbose and everything else. So I know that you are killing me behind the scenes, just like you're killing all these other people. And all these other people are not just people outside the family. Like, you're killing people that's on inside the family as well. So my thought about love was, in my opinion, I know that what I saw, I didn't want to experience that type of love moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. How about yourself?
When it came to the television show that you spoke of, to me, their display of love between husband and wife, a lot of that took place on the sofa when they cuddled and he massaged her feet, when they danced together. Those things I thought were loving.
I thought it was before a hanky panky, but go ahead.
Okay. I didn't always see that, I guess. But I thought those were certainly displayed love.
Right.
Whether it was the hug, the peck on the lips or cheek, whatever they did. PG version, Thursday night, 8:00, type of a thing. Now, did they do the hanky-panky thing where they're in their bed and, where she says, just your feet now, Cliff, just your feet. Just your feet now, Cliff, just your feet. For those who saw that episode, they know what was going on. So there were times where it, led to the belief that more was going on.
Right.
Now, granted, they had, 5 kids? So, hey, something was going on at one point. He's thinking 5 kids.
Yeah.
Yes, 5 children.
It wasn't always 5 on the show, though. But, yeah, I got you.
Yes. Okay, good. So, again, something was going on, and they're, relatively stair-stepped in ages, so forth and so on. It wasn't like, hey, there's a huge gap of 10 years between some kids. So that, to me, that showed love, and that's kind of what I looked for and wanted. They laughed together. They dated. They, talked about other people. But they also were warm and welcoming to the neighbors' kids and so forth and so on. So, so to me, that was a household of laughter and love. Good times, bad times, whatever. So I think that's what I learned from outside on television about love. When it came to the household, my own household, my parent told me that she loved me. My father did the same. So I felt that love, and I heard, I love you, growing up. So, and I can feel it when they said it as well. Like I remember feeling, warm, like, oh, my parent, my
felt
mom.
warm and fuzzy.
I didn't know fuzzy, but I felt
Cuddly.
warm.
Oh, just warm.
Just warm. Yeah, okay. I felt warm. I felt the love come through.
Okay.
So, and it wasn't like a love of, I love you, but, do this for me type thing. I do remember times where it's just like, hey, just generally out of the, clear blue, or as I'm coming to visit or leaving from my visit, like, hey, I love you, type of thing. And that, so that felt good. And so that's what I kind of learned about love.
Mm-hmm.
I think, again, from life being younger when we got together, I didn't know a whole lot. I didn't have a whole lot of experiences. Can I say that I was truly in love with previous relationships prior to us? I can't. Because I at that particular time, you think it is real. Even what we had at the age of,
Whatever.
20 and, 22, 23, respectively. Was that true love at that particular time? I think love grows. It changes, again, as we mature and change. We have a different appreciation, different understanding of it. When you're dating, you're dating, so you don't see all of that person. Again, you present yourself.
You date the representative.
Yeah, again, there are real conversations and things can come out, depending on your age, and if you are, doing other things and being real, like, hey, if you're sleeping together, if you're having overnight parties or whatever it is, like, you might see that person, with their hair tossed to the side or whatever. Or you might see them, as they say, oh, she wore a scarf on her head, that type of thing. And some people have issues with that, or with a do-rag or whatever. And, but that's love. Like, if that's what that person needs to do to prep for the next day, whether it's a face mask, whether it's, a do-rag, then that's what they have to do. Now, I'm not a fan of wearing the do-rag and the bonnets and the scarves outside in public. Like, that's like for you to do and set yourself up to go outside.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you go outside, like, for me, I'm not wearing my pajamas, and I'm not wearing slippers, and I'm not wearing rollers and things like that. outside. I do those things in preparation to go outside.
Right.
But I think all of those things you learn to love about that person, and I think that's what true love kind of is, because sometimes things that may have irked you about somebody else, the person that you love, like they can do it, and you're like, oh, it's cute on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, so it can just be different in that regard. So, what did I learn before marriage? It's kind of hard to say. I think I learned more about love being married than I did about it prior to. So again, thinking about our ages that we entered into this union, that we entered into a relationship, being dating and marriage. Again, it's hard for me now because my kids are that age. And I'm like, y'all don't know nothing.
Right.
What do you know about love? Like, so it's kind of tough because of that. I look at them like, oh, wow, like I can't compare where they are
to where you are now.
Where I was. Now, again, times were different with social media, with our pandemic that we had. Like it certainly set some things back for them. So they're not necessarily as far advanced as we were when it comes to interpersonal relationships. They're further advanced when it comes to technology, for sure.
Right.
But when it comes to personal relationships and that type of a thing, yeah, I think that's so different for that generation and the generations after them. Versus where we were when it comes to love. I mean, even we've talked about this before in our discussions with one another, like, what did they even see outside of us? And we're talking about our family, our nucleus. What do they see outside of us that displayed love? So what is their vision? What is that generation's vision? Not even, even taking it outside of our household, but what is that generation's, those who are under the age of 25, what do they think love is?
See, I think, like you said about your yourself, where now, listen to I'm listening to what you're saying. You said that as you were leaving, people would say, I love you. They didn't say I love you any other time. That's
no,
I'm not saying they
right.
But just
no,
listen,
I said coming,
to,
coming in and leaving. I gave those two examples. That's what is vivid in my mind.
Got you.
My mom would just out of the clear blue say, I love you and you're all I have. And, life is.
But I think that with our children, based on their situation, I think they see it, especially now, like now they're able to voice it a little differently. I think they understand how they get love almost like every day, right? Again, they're 23 and 21 respectively. Now, when they were 15 and 17, no, we were, the
enemy,
the parents, right? And now and because I know for myself, again, I'm the forever coach, so they're able to see, Dad, you really, because I mean, I've been told, you've really been watching out. You've really been taking care of us. We might not have been able to always acknowledge it, but I really see where things were going. I've had the experience. What you said was going to happen, it happened, or whatever it might have been, has been told to me by both. Because I kind of see, based off of what they're saying, I can see what's going on, so it may not be 100%. I'm not saying I'm clairvoyant like that, but you kind of hear like, all right, it's typical because there's nothing new underneath the sun, right? So like when our daughter said something to us the other night, because we asking her about graduation, and hey, you want to have a graduation party and things like that, and she's saying, I don't even know who to invite, because I don't think anyone would show up. So you're not even getting friendship love, let alone anything else. You get what I'm saying? So to your point, who do you have that has your back through thick and thin, through whatever the situation might be? Because if you feel as though they won't come to a graduation party, they definitely don't have your back in hard times. So but also
I think
I
for
feel
them,
Mhm.
again, with this generation, they do things differently. Like you said, hey, if you ride rough and tough with your friends and they're going to come to your house, your graduation parties, your this and that, I think because one, what have we displayed before them? Now, yes, when they were under the age of 5, we had people over, we partied, we hung out frequently. And then after 5 and beyond, we didn't have people at the house that often. Maybe
Well, no, that's not true. I disagree with that. Because when we got to Alden, that we had people there all the time. At one point in time, that's why I say I disagree. Because whether or not when we had the pool in the back, or had seemed like every summer we cooked out at least once or twice, whatever. So that's why I said I disagree. I think that I think what happened is, in my opinion, the circle changed versus who was showing up, at the old house. So I do believe that, and some of those individuals still stayed around as well, but I really think that the circle changed. I think that being in different environments and whatever, that's just the way I feel.
okay. Yeah. I don't know. So
Yeah, no, because you're saying that, you're talking about us and what love we've shown with our friends.
mhm.
I think that because and what I mean by the circle change, like I said, some of the friends stayed the same, but we also had a lot more, in my opinion. There were moments where we had a lot more family members over in certain places at certain times. Again, everything is cyclical or seasonal,
Mhm.
right? So in one place we had a lot more family members over with their kids and when they were younger versus when kids were just a little bit older, they were not. When kids were on football teams and basketball teams where, were their friends over? But again, that's one place versus another. So that's what I'm saying. That I think circles change, opportunities change. So we had people over or they were out as well, because then that's the other part of that. Because then they started going out.
Right.
We didn't have them.
That's where I was trying to go. That I think what type of friends that we invite over for those types of events that you're talking about.
Right.
So, again, if we had something like that, what friends would come over? And then so for you to say, oh, you don't have friends that would come to your graduation party.
Mhm.
And, perhaps she doesn't, but would she have friends that are going to go to a concert with her? Or does she have friends that would go to dinner with her, go exercise, whatever that might be, that different stuff. So.
Yeah. So then, you're saying that, hey, as long as we're spending money, as long as we have the opportunity to take an Instagram picture or whatever it is.
Or maybe it's something, I don't want to be around adults. I don't know what the thing is, because I don't know that much about that generation or the people she's with.
I'm about to say, I don't know if it's generational or versus, because we don't know her friends.
Right. But like you had said before, hey, what's our standard? What picture does she paint of us? And what do they know of us?
I think that there's some level of intimidation.
Mm-hmm.
One, because quite a few at least the ones that she speaks of, their father is not in the picture, and so some of her friends call me Pops, and I'm pretty sure that at least the ones that we know of, right, they don't want to be around that, as you're stating,
Mm-hmm.
because they're going to want to do some things that I'm not going to agree with. I don't care how old you are.
Right.
You
Or
get
they're
what I
going to
mean?
get questioned, like, what are you doing? You know, like, hey, she's graduating with a master's degree, and you like ask her friends, like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm
I'm chilling.
I'm chilling. I'm just trying to, do me
Right.
type thing. And they may think we're going to look down upon them. Like,
I will. I ain't gonna pump fake. I will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, because it's just human nature. You get what I mean? Now, it might be for a split moment because it's just human nature,
Mhm.
right? Like, really, like, and I'm gonna not look down on them as much as, well, Janae, you might need to change your environment to the people that where you're trying to get to. In all honesty, because sometimes you got to change the room.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is not there for the ride. That's my opinion.
Right.
That's how I feel. And I think that's why there are some things that has changed. Even with us being married, the room has changed, right? Because everyone that we were with at very early on that were our friends, they're still our friends today, but they're not celebrating 25 years of marriage. Some of them could be on their second or third marriage.
I mean, but even think of that, hey, celebrating 25 years of marriage, if we were to have an event, how many of them would come?
I would think because we asked all of them. There's not too many. Well, let me put that in perspective as well. Everyone won't be invited.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? Now, that's number one. Number two, those that respect us and we respect them, I think will show up.
Right.
That's why I said, like, so everybody that
But I
think
think also, as you're stating, that group of friends, even if they're just like, hey, I'm just chilling, they don't have much going on in life, that hasn't changed much from 20 years ago when we were, first becoming friends or whatever. So I think a lot of people that we're friends with or we call a friend, their values, their actions haven't changed drastically from who they were and who they were at the core, where I think the people she speaks of, that she hangs out with or talks of or mentions when she would invite somebody from second grade. All right, well, when you met them in second grade, like their values and what they're into is different.
Right.
Somebody you met in high school. Okay, like it could be similar, but hey, it's not. Like they're doing themselves,
Right.
and it may not be, like you're saying, in alignment with what she's doing in her educational path.
Right.
But that's a cool friend to hang out with when you want to, get buck
but
wild.
But again, as I've been saying to her as well, what you want to do in life goes against what those friends are doing. Right? So where you're trying to get to, there's a greater risk of you jeopardizing what you're looking to do. So when or looking to accomplish or whatever it is, because let's keep in mind that record or whatever the situation is can follow you. That reputation can follow you.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about things that we learn from a love perspective, do you love yourself enough to say, yo, you know what? You're not good for me. Right? Did we learn to say that, this toxic situation does not benefit me in my short-term and or my long-term goals? You get what I mean? So just so happened that some of, as you had mentioned, some friends that we were friends with, some people have changed, their lives, right? And then there are some people where they have not transitioned, so, and even we talk about our friends. So, and I think this is where we kind of get crazy sometimes. 90% of my friends are married, where yours aren't. So even if you wanted to be with your friends, in all honesty, what would y'all have in common besides some ratchet stuff? You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be ratchet for real, but it's like y'all don't have anything in common. So even if we did invite them to a party, out of respect, I think they would show up. Now, would they feel comfortable? Probably, because most of them are silly as all get out and are adaptable or whatever else. But there might be some that won't show up because of hateration. I can see that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? So, or because, Kafa invited me, I could be there for 10, 15 minutes. So I think when we talk about things that we learn about love prior to marriage, yes, we learn from our friends, i.e. like we're talking about our daughter. Have they grown? Have they changed? Have they, so now we get to see what they really were about back then. Because you don't really change. You just enhance what you already were to some degree. Mm. Or that's what way some people believe. So so that's how I look at it for myself. So if I had to say lessons I learned, I had to learn how to love me. I had to learn how to love myself, which I did not know, because I didn't know really what it was and what I was looking for and searching for to find love in. It wasn't long term. It would not have been sustainable, in all honesty. And so afterwards, after marriage, having to analyze me, I've been able to know, no, that's not good for me. Mm-hmm. No, that's not the right way to go. And the one thing that we have not even talked about is what God and his true love for us, how important that really is. And not understanding who he is, what he is, where he is, how he is, and why he is in our lives. If you don't understand that before the vows or whatever else, sometimes you don't even know how to bring that into the relationship and understanding the word love.
That's good.
So so that's just where I am, and I hope each and every one of you were able to take something away from this conversation. And I'm hoping that you have something good or bad to say about it and share it with us. It doesn't matter to me, because I'm willing to have that conversation. I'm willing to expand my knowledge, and I'm willing to speak to you. And trust me, you won't hurt my feelings. And we will talk to you a little later.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the No Fruit Podcast, where we bring you fruitful conversations, ripened wisdom, and love that's deeply rooted. We hope today's discussion left you feeling uplifted, encouraged, and ready to take on life's journey with purpose. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who could use a little inspiration in their day. You can catch up on past episodes, send us your thoughts, or learn more about us on social media. Until next time, stay rooted in love, and remember, every seed you plant today shapes the fruit of tomorrow. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.